Best Asana workflow examples. Hey guys, welcome back. Today we'll be doing a quick look at how you can get started with setting up your own workflows on Asana. So let's get into it. Now, to get started on Asana, all you have to do is create your account. I have already created my account using my email address, but that is all you need to create your account on Asana. Once you have created your account, this is what your dashboard is going to look like. And from here, you can start building your team and your project. So let's get started with a basic project. And I will just click on New Project over here. Now, for this, you can use a pre existing template to get started with setting up your basic project, or you can also get started from scratch if you want to build your own workflow. Now, I am going to actually use a template just so it's easier to explain because it's going to include a lot of pre-existing information that can be super helpful. So let's say I want a basic little template. So it's going to be something like new hire preparation. And I'm just going to click on use template over here. I'm going to make it next. I'm just going to create this project as it is in the template. Now, in your template, you're going to get a plethora of information. Obviously, you can choose to customize and remove this information later on. But you guys can see for each specific niche, industry, or business, there is going to be a different type of workflow you want to set up. Now, with this little new hire preparation template, we have the manager training. So, who is going to be the person that is training the people? Then we have the prep, which is going to be, asking for a setup from IT, creating a project for the new hire the first day, new hire start the date, schedule a team lunch. Then you can create a new section, which might be training on marketing practices. And let's say we want to, add the task that I'm supposed to teach that person, whatever it might be, you can add that. Now, after that, you have your workflow section on Asana. Now, this is a very important section that a lot of people skip over because it's on the premium version. You can get started with the premium version for free and start your 30-day free trial of Premium Asana. And the workflow builder basically allows you to visually represent the work that you have. So you have form submissions, task completion, anything that you want, and you can get like a visual representation. So let's say I will build a new hire board and I will show you guys how you can set up your board and then later on visualize it and create a basic workflow out of it. So it might be a little difficult to, visualize a new hire preparation. That's like a little boring. So let's say I want to just complete a project. So I will click on new project and I will click on this. We'll start with a blank project, and this might be something like marketing campaign. Then I'm just going to include a list. The default view is going to be a list view, and I will click on continue and I will click on go to project. Now, this is going to be a empty template and I'll show you guys how we're going to set it up. So first off, we're going to add our first section, which might be the planning section, where I can add something like creative idea. Then I might, have, whatever the ideas are for the marketing campaign. Then I will have my second section, which might be execution. And within that, I can add, within that, let's say I want to create tasks or tags. So I can create a new tag from over here, and this will be an option two. And there can be two options, which might be approved, which is approved ideas or disapproved ideas, but we're gonna go into that later. So I'm going to just unsave that. Next, it might be in my execution. Let's say I have designed ideas. So over here, all the ideas that have been designed can be moved. Then we have feedback, and then we probably have our end section, which is going to be our review section. And within that review section, let's say we have something like final approvals and product manager or social media manager, whatever kind of marketing campaign it might be. So once you set up the basic sections, you can start adding your tasks in them. And to visualize this entire thing, even though it's easy to understand, first we're going to planning, execution, the ideas get designed, then we have the feedback, the review, and then it might be completed. So Although this is good, but it's not really visually appealing, plus it might be a little difficult to understand in these subfields and subsections. It might be confusing on who is supposed to do what. So for that, you can click on workflow. Now, we're gonna get started with building our workflow over here. So you guys can see all of these sections have automatically been added to my workflow like this. So this is my basic workflow. Now, you can add a trigger to move this section, tasks in the section. So let's say I have a intake source. You can have, let's say, whenever a new form is completed for a marketing campaign, people can fill out a form for the marketing campaign instead of having to push them directly. But let's say for this, it's going to be manually for now. Then we have our first section, which is going to be the planning section. So you can set a assignee who is supposed to plan all of your marketing campaigns. Let's say I'm supposed to do that. So I will click on create rule. Whenever something is added to the planning section, I would be assigned to that. Then we have the execution. So for that, I can add collaborators, which might be the designers that are supposed to design. So let's say this person is the designer, and I would add that person over here, obviously. Now, usually in Asana, you're going to find all of the people added in your team. I haven't added anyone in my team, so that is why I can't really add anyone other than myself. But after that, you can click on create approval. So this is going to be a very important thing, which you have to do because we have this execution section, and only a project that is approved will be added or executed. So you can click on create approvals, and you can assign the person who is supposed to give approval. So Matt approval over here, you can assign Matt to this task. I'm just going to assign myself over here, but you can add a approval subtask as well. But from here, you can make sure the ideas that are approved get approved, and then you have your next section, which can be to send a message or to set a timeline on your third-party application to get started on the project as well. But then after that, I have my designed ideas. Now, from here in my designed ideas, let's say they need to be reviewed, or once the ideas are designed, I don't think in this section I really need to add much. But then in my feedback section, I have the add comment section. And whenever a task is moved to this section, we are going to more actions. Whenever a task is set, we are going to set an assignee, and the person that is supposed to review these would be added as the assignee to provide feedback, and then they can provide feedback. And once the feedback has been provided, the final review can be added and it can be completed. So obviously you're going to attach different people to all of these specific sections, the people that are supposed to accomplish these tasks within your business. And on the top of every section in your workflow, you're going to find your triggers that are going to move the task. So let's say whenever a task is assigned, the movement of the task is going to happen into the next section. So that is how you're going to set up your workflow. Now, within your workflow on the right, you're going to find all of your fields. Then you have your basic rules. Then you have your apps, your forms, your tasks that have been completed, and then basic bundles as well. You can bundle up in your tasks in the enterprise version of Asana, where you can combine features across multiple different projects to set up a even more efficient workflow. So I hope you guys found this video helpful, and you guys can get a visual mind map of your entire workflow using the workflow tool on Asana. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will catch you guys in the next video.